falsely accused, my brother launched a smear campaign trying to get me thrown in jail. My parents called him a hero for protecting the victims. I made them regret it, and now they're begging me. Sup, Reddit. My brother tried to ruin me after I was falsely accused, claiming I belonged in prison. My parents disowned me, labeling me a predator. I'm 38, male, run my own electrical contracting business, and teach basic electrical safety courses twice a week at Riverside Community College. Not glamorous, but the commercial work brings in six figures when jobs are steady, and teaching keeps my skills sharp. Plus, the college pays $75 an hour for two 4-hour sessions. Easy money. It all started on a Wednesday morning when the department head, Vincent, called me into his office after class. I thought it was about the new fall curriculum, or maybe a pay adjustment, something routine. But Vincent was sitting with Dr. Helen, the student services director, and a college attorney. The vibe was wrong, too serious for a scheduling discussion. James, thanks for coming in, Vincent said, hands folded like he was delivering bad news. We need to discuss allegations about your conduct at the Skills USA competition last month. My brain went red alert. What allegations? I asked. Two students claimed inappropriate physical contact occurred during the Sacramento competition weekend. Because of the seriousness of these claims, I was placed on immediate administrative leave pending investigation. I stared at him. What competition? I wasn't there. Dr. Helen leaned forward, her counselor tone making my teeth ache. James, we understand this is shocking. These situations are difficult, but student safety is our priority, and proper protocols must be followed. I wasn't at the competition, I repeated. I was on a job site, running a 3-phase installation at the new medical complex downtown. I can provide permits, inspection reports, everything. Vincent didn't budge. We'll review documentation, but given the consistency of the reports and the seriousness of the allegations, immediate suspension is the proper response. Consistency of what reports? I wasn't there. I was 70 miles away with cameras on every floor documenting the work. Finally, Vincent said, "Your name is on the trip roster." I explained the roster was wrong and offered to prove I was on site the entire weekend. No one cared. The attorney recited corporate procedure nonsense. Collect your things, leave campus, HR will contact you. That's when I realized evidence was irrelevant. They had already chosen their narrative. I cleared my desk in 15 minutes, tools, reference books, flash drives with lecture materials, thinking about April 12th. That weekend was unforgettable. 3 12-hour days, supervising a crew of 4 at the hospital, running conduit myself. My back hurt, permits and inspections documented, photos and logs time-stamped. Everything could confirm I was physically incapable of being at the Sacramento competition. I called my parents from the truck. My dad answered immediately. They're accusing me of something physically impossible, I said. 2 students claim I did something at a competition I wasn't at. They suspended me. My mom got on speaker. What exactly are they saying? They won't give details. Skills USA, Sacramento, I explained. A pause. Then my dad. Do you have proof? Signed permits, inspection documents, crew statements, photos? Then we'll handle it. But his tone was calculating. That night, I organized every piece of evidence, permits, inspection reports, security logs, crew statements, photos, all airtight proof showing I wasn't in Sacramento. I sent it to Vincent at midnight. No response. This preserves all key points: accusation, suspension, evidence, and parents' reaction. I can continue. The next morning, my brother Brandon called at 8:30. I was half asleep, hoping family ties might matter. Then I remembered Brandon always needed to be the better son. When I started my business at 26 and bought my first house at 28, he spent Thanksgiving lectures about how real careers required advanced degrees. When I paid off my truck in cash, he made comments about blue-collar money not building generational wealth. Our parents always favored his corporate trajectory, MBA, nonprofit titles, community leadership over my trade work. Brandon's career had stalled after being passed over for director twice. He needed a cause. I just didn't realize I'd become it. Brandon, thank God. Did you hear what's happening? The college is trying to... I can't talk right now. He cut me off. Professional. Cold. I'm meeting the administration this afternoon. Karen and I are taking this seriously. Taking what? Seriously? I wasn't even at the competition. I have proof. Permits, inspections, crew statements. I was on site the whole weekend. I have to go, he said, and hung up. Blocked. I tried again. Blocked. Texts? Blocked. Then a message from Uncle Paul. Did you see what Brandon posted? Call me. Brandon had shared a private message with our parents, aunt, and some cousins. Professional language about serious allegations, supporting the investigation, and refusing contact until facts were established. Cold. Measured. A line in the sand. 6 hours later, the family group text blew up. Brandon posted publicly. Open quote. I've been informed of credible allegations against James involving students at Riverside Community College. After meeting with college officials and reviewing information, Karen and I believe the students. We will not maintain contact with James and strongly encourage the family to prioritize the safety and well-being of the young people involved. Close quote. I read it 4 times, hoping the words would change. My mom responded, "We support you both. Heartbreaking but necessary." My dad agreed, "Some things are more important than family loyalty. You're a hero for standing up for the victims." My cousin Sophia asked, "Wait, what? Has anyone talked to James?" Uncle Paul interjected, "This is insane. You're condemning him without hearing his side." I started typing a response, deleted it, tried again, deleted it. What could I say? I wasn't there. I'd told Brandon send him evidence. He refused to look. Evidence was noise. I was already the villain. I called my dad. Voicemail. Mom answered, reading from a script. "James, we've discussed this extensively with Brandon. He's shown us the college's concerns, and the proper course is to step back and let the investigation proceed without family interference." Family interference? I asked. "I'm trying to show you proof that I wasn't even there." "Sweetheart, we're not investigators. We can't evaluate evidence. We can only support the process and ensure students feel safe." Students of what? I was on a job site 70 miles away with 4 witnesses and a stack of inspection documents. Nobody is checking the facts. They're choosing sides. Anger is understandable, but it's not productive. We love you, but need to think about broader implications, she said. Broader implications of what? Destroying an innocent person because it's easier than checking facts? I hung up. By Thursday night, Brandon had posted a long manifesto on social media about believing survivors, accountability, sacrifice, choosing what's right over what's easy. 300 likes within 2 hours. Comments calling him brave. Not one person asked if he'd verified facts. Friday morning, the college sent the termination letter, effective immediately. Corporate language about student safety, making difficult decisions, protecting the learning environment. I'd taught there 4 years, designed the electrical safety curriculum. 98% student approval rating. No complaints until 2 students who'd never been in my class suddenly remembered. I'd molested them at an event I didn't attend. Fired in 3 paragraphs. My landlord served an eviction notice the next Tuesday. 60 days to vacate. Morality clause cited. Commercial accounts pulled contracts. $180,000 in billing gone in 1 week. Supply houses demanded cash. Contractors canceled jobs. Friends ghosted. Even my gym membership disappeared. I kept sending messages to Brandon, emailed the full evidence folder with timestamps, photos, and documentation proving I was on site. Subject, just please look at this. Delivery confirmed, never opened. He had already decided I was guilty. Evidence didn't matter. By day 12, I stopped trying. Not defeat, clarity. Anyone who'd already chosen sides wasn't going to review facts. They didn't want truth. They wanted a villain. And I had been perfectly cast. This part covers the brothers' betrayal, family disowning. Hashar Part 4, Legal Strategy, Discovery, and Deposition. Walking it back now would make the college and Brandon look incompetent, or worse, malicious. It was easier for them to insist I was guilty and hope I disappeared quietly. My lawyer nodded slowly. Here's what you need to understand. You have strong claims. Defamation, tortious interference, maybe Title IX violations. Your brother made false, damaging statements that cost you income and housing. The college violated basic due process. This will get ugly. It will take time, and it will cost them more than they are prepared to pay. I'm not going anywhere, I said. Good? She said. Here's the plan. No public engagement. Preserve all evidence. File complaints. Let them dig their hole deeper. Every post your brother makes, every refusal by the college to review evidence, we document. When this goes to trial, we bury them in their own negligence. What about Brandon? Every post, every statement he coaches, every time he doubles down without checking facts, It's evidence. The more certain he acts, the worse it looks when we prove he never verified anything. He's building your case for you. I liked her immediately. We spent the next hour reviewing next steps. Before I left, she added one more instruction: send preservation letters to the college and Dr. Helen. Put them on notice that they must preserve all documents, emails, and records. Destroying evidence after that creates an entirely new problem for them. I sent those letters that afternoon, then filed complaints with the State Accreditation Board and Department of Education. Began drafting the defamation lawsuit against Brandon. Nothing dramatic, just bureaucratic machinery quietly moving. Brandon continued posting long threads about believing victims, the dangers of protecting predators, moral courage over family loyalty. Not subtle. Each post was screenshotted, logged, added to the file. He was constructing my case paragraph by paragraph without realizing it. 3 months in, the police investigation began. They checked competition records. My name wasn't on them. Verified chaperone lists, lodging, transportation logs, nothing. Then they checked the hospital job, permits, inspection reports, badge logs, and 4 electricians testified I'd been on site all weekend. The detective called in November, tired in that specific way only cops get when they realize they wasted months on nonsense. We've completed our investigation. No evidence places you in Sacramento that weekend. Your alibi is rock solid. No criminal charges will be filed. What about the accusations? I asked. We're reviewing how those allegations were documented and who was involved, he said. Then he hung up. I called my lawyer. She wasn't surprised. Perfect. Now we go after them. While I had stayed quiet, she'd been active, filing discovery requests, serving subpoenas to the college, Dr. Helen, and Brandon. The college objected. Student privacy, institutional privilege, confidentiality. She shredded every objection. First came stonewalling. HR ghosted. Legal sent form letters. We cannot comment on ongoing personnel matters. Hospital badge logs suddenly unavailable. They tried to make it go away quietly. In December, their attorney offered $50,000 mutual NDA, no admission of wrongdoing. Desperate corporate smell. My lawyer replied laughable. Our offer, full reinstatement, public apology, $300,000, and Dr. Helen's termination, or trial, exposing every procedural failure. 3 weeks silence. Then a local reporter started asking questions. Police findings leaked. PR fires. Board members nervous. Donors calling. Suddenly, the missing badge logs appeared with perfect timestamps. External pressure forced reality. Discovery in January revealed how my name got attached. Dr. Helen had forwarded a recycled trip roster from the prior year with my name still on it. She treated it as gospel, then coached the students to align their statements. Emails and texts showed narrative management, significant edits added to statements by adults, not teenagers. The accusers weren't malicious. They were kids. Kayla, 17, welding program, and Madison, 16, HVAC. Both attended Sacramento. Initial statements were vague, confused, uncertain. Dr. Helen guided, suggested, shaped their recollections. One email to Kayla's mother. I know she's having trouble remembering specifics, but trauma can make memories fuzzy. Let's walk through the weekend hour by hour. To Madison's father, statements align now. Keep the family committed. Don't waver under pressure. Brandon's digital trail was damning. Messages like, open quote, don't let them fixate on timelines and alibis. That's just a distraction tactic predators use. Close quote, he saved everything, conversations, posts, guidance to families, always prioritizing his crusade over verification. Depositions began in February. Brandon went first. 8 months since we last spoke. He looked exhausted, dark circles under his eyes. His lawyer distracted, underpaid. My lawyer, a shark, started soft background questions. Then she shifted. When did you first learn about allegations against James? Late April, Brandon said. Did the college provide specific details? No, privacy laws prevented it. Did you verify that James attended the competition? Pause. No. Did you ask to see his proof? No. He sent permits, inspections, witnesses, emails. Did you open them? No. You posted publicly, declaring him guilty, guided families in crafting statements, and encouraged them to ignore doubts. Did you consider you might destroy an innocent life? No, he admitted. 6 hours. Every message, post, and statement analyzed. Each decision, assumption, every moment he chose certainty over verification. By the end, he looked broken. My lawyer had that look lawyers get when they know they've already won. This wraps part. Here's a polished professional paraphrase of your final part of the script, keeping it concise, neutral, and faithful to the original content while simplifying where possible. He's going to settle, my lawyer said. He has to. His own actions left him no choice. The College Board meeting, where everything unraveled, happened on a Tuesday in March. It had been scheduled as routine business, but news of the investigation findings had leaked. The room was full. Parents, faculty, a few reporters, local activists backing Brandon, and some family I hadn't seen in months. My Uncle Paul and cousin Sophia were there, along with a few friends who had stayed loyal. I'd asked them not to come. Paul said, "We're watching you get vindicated. We're not missing it." My parents sat in the back. My mom wore her tight smile. My dad looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. Brandon was absent, likely on legal advice. The interim college president, brought in after the scandal broke and Vincent's resignation, opened with a statement on transparency and responsibility. Then they read the findings. Open quote. After reviewing the allegations against James, including permits, inspection reports, security logs, and witness testimony, the board finds no factual basis linking James to the alleged incident. He was not in Sacramento that weekend, but on a commercial job site, confirmed by multiple witnesses. Significant procedural failures were found in handling the initial accusations. Statements were edited by college personnel, and administrative decisions were made without verifying basic facts. Close quote. The president acknowledged that James had been wrongfully terminated and his professional reputation damaged. Murmurs filled the room. A reporter asked questions, and someone shouted. The president offered a settlement, but my lawyer whispered, "Don't take it. We go to trial on defamation." I nodded. Brandon's civil trial began in May. His lawyer claimed good faith reliance, protected opinion, and support for victims. My lawyer dismantled every argument, showing how Brandon ignored facts, coached families to ignore doubts, and publicly declared me guilty, despite me being 70 miles away on a job site. Her closing. Open quote. This case isn't about believing victims. It's about what happens when belief becomes a weapon. Brandon avoided facts because they were inconvenient, helped manufacture consistency in statements, pressured families, and did it publicly, loudly, with certainty. Close quote. The jury took 3 hours. Brandon was found liable on all claims, $150,000 for lost income, reputation, and emotional distress. His face was blank. His lawyer tried to respond. He walked out. The college settled the following week, $280,000, a public apology, and commitments to reform investigation procedures. Formal correction letters went to everyone notified about the accusations, vendors, landlords, business contacts, restoring my reputation. Dr. Helen, who manipulated the students, lost her license 4 months later after the state board confirmed multiple violations. She attempted to appeal but failed. I didn't leave town. I rebuilt right here. Using the settlement to purchase a 4,000 square feet building, rehired my crew, and started bidding on commercial projects again. Within 6 months, business was busier than ever. My parents tried to reconcile in July. They showed up unannounced at the shop. I told them to leave. Their attempts at explanation were drowned out by facts. They had backed Brandon, ignored evidence I provided, and let ego dictate judgment. I went back to work. They left and never returned. Brandon tried to recover his career, but the court judgment followed him. He lost his nonprofit job, his wife left him, and he ended up in a modest role at an insurance company. I didn't celebrate his downfall. Satisfaction came from watching those who were so certain and righteous finally face reality. One cold Saturday in October, 18 months after the accusations, Brandon showed up at the shop. He tried to apologize, to explain, to make himself feel better. I told him, open quote, "You want forgiveness? You want closure? Live with what you did. You destroyed your brother over accusations you never verified. You prioritized ego over truth. Don't call me again. Don't come here. We're done." Close quote. I drove away, never looking back. If you enjoyed this story, hit subscribe.